Good morning, boys and girls. We finally get to the promised land with our friends, the Israelites. The title of our story today is Joshua and Jericho, and this is the last Bible story that we are going to have together. Boys and girls, I have loved sharing the Bible with you over these past couple months, and I have loved being in the classroom with you guys this year. You guys are going to rock first grade. And I can't wait to see what God does in your life. Remember the promises God made to Abraham? Your kids will become a great nation. They will have their own land, and from your family will come a blessing for the whole world. It had been nearly 500 years since God made those promises, and only the first one had come true. Sort of. Abraham's family had grown to be a nation, the Israelites, but they still didn't have their own land, and the blessing for the whole world was still unclear. The Israelites had disobeyed God time and time again, so God put them in a time out until they were ready to obey him. Now Israel's long time out was finally over, and it was time to enter the promised land once again. Moses, their leader, gave a long speech reminding the Israelite kids, who were now grown-ups, of everything God had done for them and all the laws he had given them. Everyone said, "Yes, we are going to trust God for sure this time." And then Moses walked up on top of a mountain and died. Yep, he died. He got to see the promised land from the top of the mountain. But because he had disobeyed God too, he never got to go in. Instead, God chose Joshua to be Israel's new leader. Joshua was a man who trusted God. So Joshua led all the Israelites across the Jordan River and into Canaan, the promised land. Of course they weren't alone in Canaan. Just as soon as they crossed the river, they ran into a city, a pretty big one. It was called Jericho, and it had big, strong walls and a big, strong people who did not want the Israelites moving into Canaan. Joshua knew God was giving them this land, but the people of Jericho didn't care about the Israel's God. They were ready to fight the Israelites to stop them from going any further. The people of Jericho were going to stay in Canaan, and as long as they were safe behind their big, strong walls, there was nothing the Israelites could do about it. Then God gave Joshua some very strange instructions. March around the city 1 time each day for 6 days, God said. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times and have your priests blow horns. When the horns blow, have everyone yell, and the walls of the city will fall down. Well, that's weird. Joshua might have thought, march around a city for 6 days, then blow horns and yell, and these big, strong walls will just fall down because we yelled at them. But Joshua trusted God. And how much did he trust God? Did he trust God this much? What if he had Israel follow God's instructions and nothing happened? They'd all be pretty mad at Joshua. They probably wouldn't want him to be their leader anymore. They might even want to kill him. If the people of Jericho didn't kill him first, what should Joshua do? What would you do? Joshua remembered how God had saved the Israelites, including him from slavery in Egypt. He was there when God fed him in the desert. Plus, God had told Joshua that he had already given Jericho to them. Not doubt God, not Joshua. He had confidence in his big, strong God. Joshua led the Israelites as they marched on Jericho for 6 days, and on the 7th day he had them blow horns and yell, just like God had said, and the walls fell down. The Israelites got to enter the promised land, and Joshua added this story to all the stories of an amazing God who could be trusted no matter what. Now, our everyday truth today is I can trust God even when I don't understand what he's asking me to do. What do you think remembering God's faithfulness helped? Why do you think remembering God's faithfulness helped Joshua trust him? Well, boys and girls, remembering God's faithfulness and what he has done helps us trust him in what we know he can do for us now. And share a time when you needed to trust God. Well, I'm going to go ahead and answer that. I think we all had to trust God over the last couple months with what school is going to look like, what work looks like, what even the world looks like. And I can guarantee you that you will find out that you will never regret trusting God. Let's pray. Dear God, please give us strength like Joshua to trust you even when we don't understand what you are asking us to do. Amen. Now, boys and girls, tomorrow I have a very special book that I want to read to you guys on our last official day together. Bye.